Welcome back to another book video. We're going to be talking about all the books that I read in January. Now, I would not say that I got off to the best reading start for 2026 with my January reads. I feel like they were not very good books, so they're kind of low ratings, but I did have one good book in there, so let's just get into it. I'll start with the first book that I read in 2026, and that was The Names by Florence Knapp. This is the book that I'm talking about when I say I got off to a bad start. Spanning 35 years, what follows are three alternate and alternating versions of the lives shaped by Cora's last-minute choice of name for her son. You're getting three different timelines, three different point of views of her son as three different names. And even on the inside of the book, it says, can a name change the course of a life? Here's my problem with that. That has nothing to do with what this book is about. For me, what I saw was the course of Cora's life with or without her abusive husband. Really, the names didn't have much to do with the bulk of the story. It was just whether her husband was present or not. And so for that, I feel like the book was marketed wrong. So then I feel like I picked up a different book than what I was being told it was going to be. I liked it okay, but I wasn't crazy about it. And again, because I was feeling like I was reading a completely different book than what I thought I was picking up, I just wasn't really following too well. So I gave this 2 stars. I just didn't really like it. Then I got an advanced copy of a book called Laws of Love and Logic. Comes out February 17th. I have a completely separate review of that book on my TikTok, so you can check it out there. But I gave that book 2 stars as well. Okay, then things kind of started to pick up a little bit. I mean that very lightly. I read The Last One by Will Dean. Now, if you saw my 2025 review wrap-up video, I read his new book coming out next month, well, I guess this month, called Adrift, and I absolutely loved that book. It was a standout for me in 2025. So I thought I would pick this up because I really enjoyed his writing. Basically what happens is this woman goes on a cruise with her husband. They go to bed one night, she wakes up, he's not there. She goes out to the cabins to, I've never been on a cruise, I don't know cruise terms, out onto the boat. No one is there. Yeah, that immediately got me. What do you mean no one is on this boat? It kind of was crazy, but my thing with this book is I would almost say or classify this as a science fiction. There wasn't anything sciencey that went on, but what happens in here is just so far-fetched that you wouldn't even believe it. And so that was kind of my problem, but I just rolled with it. There's definitely some twists throughout here. Not very favorable ones. I didn't feel like they were welcome in the storyline because it was just so far-fetched. I will say the end, I did see some reviews of the end of this book, just people absolutely hating the ending. And for me personally, I kind of liked it. It was more of an ending that would be left up to you to decide what happens. I gave this 3 stars. I do really enjoy Will Dean's writing, but I still would recommend this if you're kind of just wanting to go along for the ride. Definitely pick this up. Then on audio, I listened to Your Story Has a Villain. I was listening to the Stay True podcast by Maddie Pruitt, and she had the author of this book on. Just their conversation alone there really intrigued me, so I thought I would pick up his book, and I really enjoyed this. This was my highest rated book of January. I gave this a 4 stars, maybe even a little bit higher. There's so much within the book that is sticking with me. And what I was wary about going into this book was, I don't want to say studying, but like really trying to get to know, for lack of a better term, the villain in your life. But I know now it's important to know who you're fighting against rather than just kind of knowing he's there and not really knowing his tactics or schemes or lies, deception. I listened to this on audio and it was a really good book. Those are all the books that I read in January. It was a very light reading month. Even with being snowed in, I still didn't get much reading done, but that's okay. I'm not sure if I said this in my 2025 reading wrap up, but my goal for this year is definitely to read less books and more just focus on the quality of the book and not so much the quantity. So with that, let's get into my February TBR. I've already started this book on Kindle and I'm really enjoying it. The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I read her new release last year, The Love Haters, and I really did not like that book. I felt very annoyed by the main character. The ending of that book, I didn't like that book. So I picked this up and I honestly went on ratings and I saw that this was her highest rated book. Our main character goes to LA to help a very famous screenwriter write a rom-com, only to find out that he doesn't want her there and he hates rom-coms and love. And also he's only using this opportunity to write a rom-com to leverage his opportunity to get something else greenlit. There's kind of a lot going on. There's more side stories happening too. I'm about maybe 10% in, but I am really liking this and I need something light after my disappointing reading month in January, so this is doing the trick. Another book I want to read this month is Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. I don't really know much about this book, but I think it's that the main female character picks up a book and reads the story, and it's basically her story with her childhood love interest, and he wrote a story about them, something like that. So I'm pretty sure that this book is second chance, and that's enough for me. I love that category. I do want to read this month, especially with it being Valentine's Day and just love month, so I'm excited for this. Another book I want to read this month is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I'm pretty sure I'm the last person on earth to read a Sarah Adams book, but I met her in January. She stopped in Nashville for her book tour for her last book in the When in Rome series. So I really want to read When in Rome. I've heard it's just like a cutesy little love story, and again, this month I just want cutesy little love stories. I don't want anything too deep. Well, those are all the books I want to read in February. Those are the books that I read in January. Let me know what you're reading, what you're going to read, if there are any standouts so far in 2026. I have a couple other fun book videos planned for this month, so stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. There are way more videos besides book videos coming to my channel this year, so I'm really excited about that too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.